Do you want to improve your English accent? Do you struggle to be understood sometimes because you can't say the word clearly or properly? In this video, I'm going to give you tips and suggestions to improve your American accent so you can sound more like a native and be better understood. Welcome to Lots Learning. I'm your teacher, Amanda Lots, and I teach you better English so you can be more successful. Today, we'll focus on letter sounds. We will start with simpler, common letter sounds and progress to more difficult, challenging ones at the end. So stick with me and practice along. First, we'll start with short vowel sounds. The vowel A says a or a. A is called the schwa sound. This is a neutral sound and it's very common in the American accent. For example, my name, Amanda. So how do we make these sounds? For the schwa sound, the tongue is resting towards the bottom of your mouth. Your jaw is relaxed, and most of the sound is coming from your throat. When a sound comes from your throat, this is called a voiced sound. You will notice a vibration. Test it out. Amanda. Yes, exactly. Now, the schwa sound is also for the letter U. Amanda, umbrella. Same sound, different letters. Now, for the a sound, it is coming from higher in the mouth. There is a little bit of vibration, but we're more focused on our sound coming from the back of the mouth, and we open our mouth to the sides a little bit more than with a. It helps to make a little smile to create this sound. Not too big though. Apple. You might notice your tongue will curl up around the ends by your molars, by your back teeth. Good. Let's practice those two. Apple. Apple. Amanda. Amanda. Umbrella. Umbrella. That's it. Good job. Let's look at E versus I. The short E says eh. Now with this sound, it's going to be a little higher. It's not coming from the throat. There's a little bit of voice, but it's not completely voiced. We are going to separate our cheeks just a bit more than we do with and the jaw will come up just a little bit to close that sound. You might raise your voice a little bit. That's okay. That helps make the sound. Let's practice. Elephant. Elephant. Good. Notice eh. These are small movements and they make a big difference. This can take some practice to get just the right placement to get the perfect vowel sound. I also suggest that you practice doing this in the mirror. See what your mouth does when you make these sounds and make little adjustments. Play with how much your jaw closes or drops, where your tongue rests. Now let's compare that to the short I. Short I says eh. Now this is definitely coming from the back of the throat. You might even use your throat muscles to stop the airflow, stop the sound. It's a push of air from the back. There is a vibration from the throat. The only real difference between the short E and the short I tongue and mouth placement is that your jaw will come up very slightly with the I sound. It is very, very small, but it helps to be more clear. Iguana. iguana. Let's practice saying it incorrectly with an E instead. Iguana, iguana. Do you hear the difference? Iguana, iguana. The I sound is coming a little higher up. And now for the O sound. Ah, ah. Here, this is a big echoing sound. So we lower the jaw and we open the mouth a bit wider so the sound can echo forward. Ah, ah. Octopus, octopus. The sound is mostly coming from the very back of your throat. So imagine your throat muscles opening up and projecting the sound forward. Ah, ah. Your tongue is relaxed. Ah. Good. Octopus, octopus. Great. Excellent job. And there you have your vowel sounds. Let's kick it up a notch and do something more challenging. We'll do letter combinations that are typically difficult for English learners. SH versus CH. SH says sh. CH says ch. It's a very slight difference. And most English learners can't always hear the distinction, but native English speakers can hear this very clearly. So it's tricky. First, we should know both of these sounds are unvoiced, meaning they come from inside the mouth and more towards the front with the teeth and lips, not with our throat, not in the back like we did with our vowels. With SH, we are bringing the jaw up to close the mouth a bit. We're going to keep the teeth separated so we have airflow, and we're just going to add a little whistle. Shh, shh, like telling someone to be quiet. Shh, that's it. Now, the difference between that and CH, imagine there's a letter T in front of CH. You're going to make the T sound first, and then it's going to transition into SH. Ch. And you can add a little vowel at the end. Ch. So to make that T sound in front of the CH, the front part of your tongue, not the very tip, but a little bit further back, will touch the roof of your mouth, similar to how you would do a T. This is just one way to make a T sound. Some people will tap the tip of their tongue behind the teeth, t, t, t. And some people tap the roof of their mouth with the front part of their tongue, t, 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 going more up instead of forward. This technique for CH, we're going to use going up to the roof of the mouth. You're going to keep the air stream just like you would with the SH. So think of that T first. Ch, ch. Yeah, that's it. It takes some practice. Keep working on it. But with SH, notice your tongue is not going to touch anything in your mouth. Shh, shh. It just hovers a little bit back. But we're using the tongue with CH. Again, imagine that T. Ch, ch. Let's see if we can hear and say the difference. Ship, ship. Did I use SH or CH? I used SH, like a ship in the water. Ship, chip, chip. Yes, CH was used for that one, a bag of chips. I also want to remind you that your mouth is a muscle and you are doing exercises and using those muscles in ways that you are not typically used to in your native language. So it will feel awkward. It will feel like you're fighting against your natural instincts, but with repetition, just like any muscle in your body, it will become more natural with time. Keep up the good work. So that's enough for today. We'll stop here. And if you are interested in reducing your accent and having a more American accent, I'm available for coaching and classes. You can contact me via email, lotslearning@gmail.com. I'm also available as your ESL teacher for all of your ESL needs, whether it's your daily life, for travel, or for work. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.